Oddly comfortable is how I would describe the sensation Girls Last Tour has given me. I went into the show expecting it to warm my heart and lull me into a relaxed state, but shows like these have given me trust issues in the past. Due to that, I've been watching and waiting for the show to eventually step on my heart. But that hasn't happened yet. And after making it through 10 episodes, I'm not expecting it to. Now you could say this is the stage where I'm perfectly vulnerable for the show to betray me, and I'm well aware of that. But I'm beginning to feel it wouldn't be right for this show to do. See, Girls Last Tour has subverted my expectations by just genuinely being a relaxing, atmospheric, and heartwarming experience. Now this setting is the most obvious reason why I couldn't get myself to completely trust the show. This world is bleak, cold, and quiet. It's all industrial, there is no plant life, and virtually no life at all, with a few exceptions. But this world is really all these two know. They may have spent about half of their life just wandering around from place to place looking for food and shelter. And while you may say that's horrible, sad, and maybe dark, you have to consider the fact that Chito and Yuuri have accepted the hardships this world offers at this point, and that they've become accustomed to it. So what sounds nice, cute, and fun about any of this? Well, not much really. But that's where the strength in the show lies. It takes what little there is to be appreciated and spends a lot of time appreciating it. And it does so through the perspective of two kids growing up and learning about the world. Girls Last Tour is a genuine slice of life show. A slice of life show about two girls exploring the remnants of an abandoned world. I don't think I could have asked for a better duo to tour us around this snowy, concrete landscape. Chito and Yuuri play off one another very well, and they're both able to teach one another about the world due to how different their personalities and values are. There's almost a perfect balance between the two, especially if you subscribe to left brain, right brain theory. Due to their conflicting ways of thinking, they're often at odds with one another, while still needing each other to grow and learn. They're very comfortable with each other, and you feel very genuine love between the two throughout the show. And they're believable kids. I could totally see my younger self and a friend interacting in the ways they do. They explore, sink into philosophical discussion, they tease and sometimes beat the hell out of each other. It's super endearing and brings me back to a simpler time where I shared some similar experiences. Well, despite the whole trying to stay alive in an abandoned, cold, and dead world. While I can't relate to this aspect, I can absolutely appreciate the world Chito and Yuuri inhabit. The atmosphere in this show is very relaxing, in a large-scale and melancholy sort of way. There are often shots of the world that just dwarf our characters, and over time, the world is shown to be much, much bigger and much more mysterious than when it was initially introduced. And while the world can be seen as intimidating or ominous, the focus of the show is the beauty in this large, quiet world. And I really do mean quiet. There's often an absence of music, and when there is music present, it's usually very minimalistic and seems to just fade in or out. I get a lot of similar vibes to when I watched Samurai Jack, primarily based on traveling scenes where this similar concept of sound design was in place. I've also seen a comparison to Journey, the indie game, which I can totally agree with. The awesome thing about this absence of music and sometimes absence of dialogue is that we hear the natural sounds of this forgotten place. The lack of other things living in this world adds to the quietness and sort of shows how the most alive part of the world is the world itself. It takes me back to times where I just wanted to sit outside in absolute silence and just take everything in and appreciate the beautiful pieces that make up this world. And even in a world like Chito and Yuuri's, there's a lot to find beauty in. And this sort of world building ties into the journey that Chito and Yuuri are on. But you know what makes me really happy? This amazing ED. This has become one of my favorite EDs to a show, period. Now, I'm not the kind of person to go too deep into analyzing EDs or OPs. I sort of just enjoy, feel indifference, or try to find the next episode option. So my level of analysis is going to be really small. I just wanted to get across how interesting the minimalistic animation is, how catchy and fun the song is, and most importantly, just how good it makes me feel. There have been some episodes that have an alternate ending, and almost every time I went to another episode, dragged the progress bar to the end, and enjoyed this fantastic ED once more. But notice I said almost. If you were to ask me to find a scene that sort of sums up what the show is about and how it feels, I would direct them right to the final third of episode 5. Minor spoiler warning here. This isn't really important to the plot necessarily, but it is better experienced on its own, and I would just highly recommend checking out the last third of episode 5 for yourself, as it just kind of comes together super well. Chito and Yuuri take refuge from the rain in this pile of concrete and metal. As they try to wait out the rain, Yuuri discovers how sound is amplified through hollow objects, and the two of them get the idea to move cans, helmets, their lantern, etc. beneath where raindrops will fall. Realizing that they just created music, the credits roll to a song that just flows into existence from the sounds that the girls and the world have created. It's such a smooth transition that ties into all the aspects of the show. Despite the song just sounding amazing on its own, the reason it's fantastic is it's something Chito and Yuuri have created by learning about the world together. And due to this, they found another beautiful aspect that this cold world offers. Taking in all of these elements and compiling them together in such a smooth and clever way has given me one of my favorite moments from an anime this year, and has left me legitimately relaxed, satisfied, and just so damn happy.